Welcome back to ZE Coins. Today's video dives deep into the United States of America 1965 Washington quarter dollar coin, a piece that stands at the crossroads between old traditions and a brand new era of coinage. This is not just a coin. This is a witness to history. The American backdrop of 1965. The mid-1960s were a dramatic time in the United States. The nation was navigating social change, technological advancement, and global responsibilities. At the same time, Americans were facing a quieter but very real problem at home. Coins were disappearing from circulation, silver prices were rising. For decades, U.S. quarters had been made from real silver, and by the early 60s, the metal inside the coins was becoming worth more than the face value. People began hoarding coins, pulling them from everyday use and saving them for their silver content. Banks ran short. Cash registers felt the absence. The government had to act. 1965 became the turning point. The Washington quarter legacy. The Washington quarter itself was not new. First introduced in the early 1930s, it was originally created to honor the 200th birthday of George Washington. Over time, it became a permanent part of American coinage. The design was dignified and instantly recognizable. On the front, George Washington's strong profile faces left, symbolizing leadership, resilience, and the founding ideals of the nation. The artist's initials rest quietly near the base of the portrait. Around the edge, the words "Liberty" and "In God We Trust" speak to the values Americans associated with their money. The back features a proud eagle with wings spread wide, clutching arrows and olive branches, representing strength and peace. United States of America arches above, while quarter dollar anchors the bottom. By 1965, this familiar design was about to undergo a historic transformation. The coinage ACT and a new metal ERA. In response to the coin shortage, Congress passed sweeping changes to American coin production. Silver was removed from dimes and quarters, replaced with a new copper-nickel clad composition. This change allowed coins to stay in circulation and reduced the incentive to hoard them. The 1965 Washington quarter was the first regular issue quarter struck entirely without silver. That alone makes it a landmark coin. It represents the moment when U.S. pocket change permanently shifted away from precious metal. Collectors often view this year as the dividing line between classic silver coinage and modern circulating coins. The mystery of the mint mark. One of the most interesting details about the 1965 quarter is something that is not there. Unlike many other coins, it does not carry a mint mark. During this transitional period, the U.S. Mint made a deliberate decision to remove mint marks from coins. Officials feared that showing where coins were made would encourage collectors and hoarders to target specific issues. By eliminating mint marks, the mint hoped to keep coins moving freely through everyday commerce. As a result, quarters produced in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco all look the same. This absence has become a defining characteristic of the 1965 issue and a fascinating detail for collectors today. Striking, quality, and collector interest. While millions of these quarters were produced, not all were created equal. Differences in striking quality, surface condition, and preservation play a huge role in collector interest. Some examples display sharp details in Washington's hair and strong feather definition on the eagle. Others appear softer, reflecting the high-speed production demands of the time. Coins that avoided heavy circulation, scratches, and wear are far more desirable. Collectors also pay close attention to luster, that bright, reflective glow that appears on well-preserved coins. Original luster can dramatically enhance appeal and worth. Errors, variations, and excitement adding to the intrigue of the 1965 quarter are error coins and unusual variations. Misaligned strikes, double details, and planchet issues can turn an ordinary-looking quarter into a collector's treasure. These errors occurred during a period of massive output, when the mint was under pressure to produce enormous quantities quickly. Small mistakes slipped through, and today those mistakes are highly sought after. For many collectors, the thrill lies in searching rolls or old collections, hoping to uncover something special hiding in plain sight. Why this coin matters. The 1965 Washington quarter is not rare in the traditional sense, but its importance goes far beyond rarity. It marks a fundamental change in American money. It tells the story of economic reality forcing innovation. It reflects how even everyday objects can reveal big shifts in national policy. For new collectors, this coin often serves as an entry point into understanding modern U.S. coinage. For experienced collectors, it represents a historical milestone that deserves respect and careful study. It is a reminder that value is not only about metal or age, but about meaning, context, and the story a coin carries forward through time. A coin with a lasting legacy. Decades later, the 1965 quarter still circulates, still passes from hand to hand, often unnoticed. Yet behind its familiar face lies a powerful narrative of change, adaptation, and continuity. Whether found in a collection, a drawer, or an old roll of coins, it invites curiosity. It encourages us to look closer, to ask questions, and to appreciate the history hiding in everyday places. Story takes us back to the early 1980s, to a time of economic change, cultural shifts, and a coin that has captured lasting attention. This video is dedicated to one fascinating piece of American coinage, the United States of America 1983 D Mint Mark Washington quarter dollar. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you may never look at a quarter the same way again. The year 1983 was a unique moment in American history. The country was recovering from economic challenges, inflation was still fresh in people's minds, and everyday money mattered more than ever. Coins circulated heavily, often without much thought, yet they were being produced under conditions that would later intrigue collectors. During this period, the United States Mint was focused on meeting high demand for circulating coinage. Proof sets were not produced for general collectors that year, which made regular circulation coins even more important. This absence of traditional proof sets created a special situation. Collectors who wanted high-quality examples of coins from 1983 had to search through circulation or rely on mint sets. As a result, coins that survived in excellent condition became far more desirable over time. Among them, the Washington quarter from the Denver Mint stands out as a key piece. To understand why this coin matters, we must appreciate its design. The Washington quarter, first introduced in the early 1930s, honors George Washington, the first president of the United States. His portrait, dignified and timeless, appears on the obverse side of the coin. By 1983, this design had already become deeply familiar to Americans, symbolizing trust, stability, and national identity. On the reverse side, the iconic eagle with outstretched wings represents strength and freedom. The design is bold yet balanced, reflecting the artistic values of American coinage during the 20th century. Even though millions of Washington quarters were produced over the decades, each year and mint mark combination tells its own story, shaped by production quality, demand, and survival rate. The D Mint mark on this quarter indicates that it was produced at the Denver Mint. The Denver facility has long been known for its high output and vital role in supplying coins for circulation across the western United States. In 1983, the Denver Mint struck a large number of quarters, but quantity does not always guarantee quality. During this era, the minting process faced challenges. Dies were often used longer than ideal, and quality control standards were not as strict as in earlier decades. This resulted in many coins showing weak strikes, surface marks, or other imperfections. Finding a well-struck, sharply detailed 1983 D Washington quarter today is far more difficult than many people realize. When it comes to coin collecting, condition is everything. A coin that looks worn, scratched, or dull may hold only sentimental value. However, a coin that has survived decades in near-perfect condition becomes something truly special. For the 1983 D Washington quarter, high-grade examples are the key to its reputation and desirability. Because proof coins were not widely available that year, collectors seeking pristine examples turned to circulation strikes. Unfortunately, most of these coins entered circulation immediately, where they were exposed to wear and tear. Coins that avoided heavy use, perhaps stored away or carefully preserved, became increasingly scarce as time passed. This scarcity in top condition is what elevates the coin's status among collectors. It is not just about age, but about survival against the odds. Over the years, numismatists have paid closer attention to the 1983 D Washington quarter. Coin grading services and experienced collectors alike recognize that this coin, when found in exceptional condition, represents a challenge and a prize. It is often discussed in collecting circles as an underrated piece of modern American coinage. Collectors appreciate not only the coin itself, but also the story behind it. The economic climate of the early 1980s, the absence of proof sets, and the heavy circulation all contribute to its narrative. Owning a high-quality example is like owning a small, preserved moment from American history. Beyond numbers and grades, coin collecting is deeply emotional. For many people, discovering a valuable or rare coin sparks curiosity and excitement. The 1983 D Washington quarter is often found unexpectedly, perhaps in an old collection, a forgotten roll of coins, or even loose change that was saved long ago. That moment of realization, when a simple quarter becomes something more, is what draws people into the hobby. It reminds us that history is not only found in museums or books, but also in the everyday objects we handle without a second thought. In today's world of digital payments and cashless transactions, physical coins feel increasingly rare. This makes classic circulation coins like the Washington Quarter even more meaningful. They represent a tangible connection to the past, a time when coins were essential to daily life. The 1983 Washington Quarter stands as a symbol of that era. Its value is not just monetary, but historical and cultural. It tells a story of American resilience, industrial production, and the quiet beauty of well-designed money. If you enjoy learning about coins, history, or hidden treasures, this quarter offers all three. It encourages us to look closer, to appreciate details, and to understand that value often lies beneath the surface. Whether you are a seasoned collector or someone just beginning to explore the world of numismatics, the 1983 Washington Quarter is a reminder that even the most ordinary objects can hold extraordinary stories. We are diving deep into one such coin that quietly exists in circulation and collections alike, the United States of America 1993 Mint Mark Washington Quarter Dollar. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you may never look at a quarter the same way again. A coin that feels ordinary but isn't at first glance, the 1993 Washington Quarter looks like a regular coin. It feels familiar, comfortable, and almost invisible in everyday life. Yet, behind its modest appearance lies decades of history, national pride, and the meticulous process of minting coins for an entire nation. Coins like this were produced to serve a purpose, but over time, they also became symbols of their era. Each mark, edge, and surface detail tells a story waiting to be understood. At the era of 1993. To appreciate this quarter, we need to step back into the early 1990s. The United States was experiencing cultural shifts, economic adjustments, and rapid technological growth. Music, television, and politics were evolving, and the country was redefining itself after the Cold War era. In the middle of all this change, the U.S. Mint continued its steady work, striking millions of coins that would pass through countless hands. The 1993 Washington Quarter is a silent witness to that time. The Denver Mint and the D Mint mark. One of the most important features of this coin is the small but powerful letter D. This mint mark tells us that the coin was struck at the Denver Mint, one of the most productive and respected mints in the United States. The Denver Mint is known for its precision and high-quality strikes. Coins from this facility often show strong details and consistent craftsmanship. The D Mint mark may look simple, but for collectors, it adds a layer of identity and authenticity to the coin. George Washington on the obverse. The obverse of the coin proudly features George Washington, the first president of the United States. His portrait has been a symbol of leadership, independence, and national unity for generations. On the 1993 quarter, Washington's profile appears calm and dignified, reflecting the classical design that has endured for decades. The artist's work captures strength and humility at the same time, reminding us why Washington remains one of the most respected figures in American history. Design details that matter. When you look closely at this quarter, you begin to notice the fine details. The lettering, the spacing, and the overall balance of the design were carefully planned. Even the rim of the coin plays a role in protecting the artwork from wear. The combination of copper and nickel gives the coin its familiar color and durability. Every element was chosen to ensure the coin could survive years of circulation while still representing the nation with pride. The reverse side and its meaning. Turning the coin over, we see the iconic eagle on the reverse. The eagle has long been a symbol of freedom, strength, and vigilance. Its wings are spread wide, as if guarding the values of the country. The olive branches it holds represent peace, while its posture reflects readiness and resilience. This design reinforces the message that American coinage is not just about money, it is about identity and values. A production and circulation. Millions of 1993 Washington quarters were minted and released into circulation. These coins traveled across cities, towns, and rural areas, passing through cash registers, wallets, and vending machines. Some were saved, some were spent, and others were forgotten in drawers and jars. Each coin lived a different life, collecting marks and memories along the way. Despite being widely produced, individual examples can still stand out based on condition and preservation. Condition and collector interest. For collectors, condition is everything. A well-preserved coin tells a different story than one heavily worn. Sharp details, clean surfaces, and minimal damage can transform an ordinary quarter into something far more desirable. Collectors often examine coins under magnification, searching for clarity in Washington's hair, strength in the eagle's feathers, and overall balance in the strike. The 1993 D quarter becomes more intriguing as you learn what to look for. Why people collect Washington quarters. Washington quarters hold a special place in American coin collecting. They represent continuity, tradition, and national heritage. Many collectors enjoy assembling full date and mint mark sets, while others focus on specific years or mints. The 1993 D quarter fits perfectly into these collections, acting as a bridge between older designs and the modern era of U.S. coinage. Hidden appeal beyond face value. What makes this coin truly fascinating is how it challenges our assumptions about value. A quarter is often seen as small change, yet its worth can extend beyond everyday use. Historical context, minting quality, and collector demand all contribute to its appeal. This is why people take the time to research, examine, and preserve coins that others might overlook. A coin is a piece of history. Holding this quarter is like holding a small piece of American history. It connects the past to the present in a tangible way. Coins like this remind us that history is not only found in museums and books, but also in the objects we handle every day. The 1993 D Washington quarter is a quiet storyteller, carrying decades of movement, exchange, and meaning. Why this coin still matters today. Even in a world of digital payments and virtual currencies, physical coins continue to hold significance. They ground us in reality and tradition. Collectors, historians, and enthusiasts keep the legacy alive by studying and appreciating coins like this one. The 1993 D quarter remains relevant because it represents consistency in a rapidly changing world. Final thoughts before the value. As we come to the end of this journey, remember that coins are more than metal discs. They are symbols of time, effort, and national identity. The 1993 D Mint Mark Washington quarter may appear simple, but its story is rich, layered, and meaningful. Whether you are a collector or just someone curious about the change in your pocket, this coin deserves a closer look. We are diving deep into one specific coin that has captured the attention of collectors and history lovers alike, the United States of America 1998 P Mint Mark Washington quarter dollar. This is not just another pocket coin. It is a symbol of legacy, artistry, and understated worth. In this video, we will explore its background, design, minting story, condition factors, collector appeal, and why it continues to hold a special place in the world of American numismatics. Historical background of the Washington quarter. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932 to honor the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. Over time, it became one of the most recognizable coins in American circulation. By the time 1998 arrived, the Washington quarter had already passed through decades of design continuity, economic shifts, and changing minting technologies. The 1998 issue belongs to the final era before the state quarters program began reshaping how Americans viewed and collected quarters. This places the 1998 P Mint Mark quarter in a unique transitional moment in U.S. coin history. The importance of the Philadelphia Mint Mark. The letter P on this quarter represents the Philadelphia Mint, one of the oldest and most respected mints in the United States. Philadelphia has played a crucial role in shaping American coinage since the nation's earliest days. By 1998, the Philadelphia Mint was producing coins with advanced quality control and refined striking methods. The P Mint mark on this quarter tells collectors that it came from a facility known for consistency, historical prestige, and large-scale production, making high-grade examples particularly desirable. A design and artistic details. On the obverse side of the coin, we see the iconic left-facing profile of George Washington. His expression is calm, dignified, and timeless. The sculpted details of his hair, facial contours, and clothing reflect the classical style that has defined this coin for generations. Above Washington's head is the word liberty, while the phrase "In God We Trust" rests to the left. The year 1998 appears clearly beneath his portrait, anchoring the coin firmly in its era. The reverse side features the heraldic eagle with outstretched wings, clutching a bundle of arrows and an olive branch. This powerful imagery represents both strength and peace, values deeply rooted in American identity. Surrounding the eagle are the words United States of America and quarter dollar. The design may appear familiar, but in the 1998 P Mint Mark version, subtle sharpness and clarity can make all the difference to collectors. Metal composition and physical characteristics. The 1998 Washington quarter is composed of a copper core layered between two outer layers of cupronickel. This combination gives the coin its distinctive silver-like appearance while maintaining durability for circulation. The weight, diameter, and thickness remain consistent with modern Washington quarters, making it easily recognizable. However, what truly sets this coin apart is not its metal content, but the quality of its strike and preservation over time. Minting year significance: 1998 is an especially interesting year for Washington quarters. It marks the final full year before the United States Mint launched the immensely popular state quarters program in 1999. Because of this, the 1998 P quarter represents the end of an era. Collectors often view it as a closing chapter of the traditional Washington reverse design before the massive shift in quarter production. This historical positioning adds emotional and collectible value that goes beyond face value. Circulation versus collector condition: most 1998 P Mint mark quarters were released into general circulation, where they experienced everyday wear and tear. Coins that pass through countless hands often show scratches, dulling, and loss of detail. However, a small number were preserved in exceptional condition. These coins, often stored away shortly after minting, retain their original luster, sharp edges, and clean surfaces. It is these high-quality examples that attract the most attention from collectors. The role of coin grading: grading plays a vital role in determining the worth of any collectible coin. Professional grading services examine factors such as surface preservation, strike quality, and eye appeal. A 1998 P Washington quarter that grades highly stands out as a premium example of modern U.S. coinage. Even minor differences in grade can significantly influence collector interest, making careful handling and storage essential for anyone who owns this coin. Why collectors seek this coin? Collectors are drawn to the 1998 P Mint mark Washington quarter for several reasons. Its historical placement before the state quarters era gives it a sense of finality and nostalgia. Its classic design appeals to traditionalists who appreciate the original Washington Eagle reverse. Additionally, high-grade specimens are not as common as many assume, especially given the large number that entered circulation. This combination of familiarity and scarcity fuels ongoing interest. The emotional connection to everyday coins: one of the most fascinating aspects of this quarter is its ability to transform from an ordinary object into something meaningful. Many people remember using these coins in vending machines, parking meters, or pocket change during the late 1990s. Rediscovering one today can spark memories of that time period, adding sentimental value alongside collectible worth. This emotional connection often motivates new collectors to explore modern coinage more deeply. Investment perspective and long-term appeal: from an investment standpoint, modern coins like the 1998 P Washington quarter offer a different kind of appeal. Rather than relying on precious metal content, their value is driven by condition, demand, and historical relevance. As time passes, well-preserved examples become harder to find, increasing their desirability. For patient collectors, this coin represents a quiet but steady piece of American numismatic history. Preservation and storage tips: if you are fortunate enough to own a high-quality 1998 P Mint mark quarter, proper storage is essential. Keeping the coin in a protective holder, away from moisture and extreme temperatures, helps preserve its condition. Avoid touching the surface with bare fingers, as oils can cause long-term damage. These simple steps ensure that the coin maintains its appeal for years to come. Cultural and educational value: beyond collecting and investment, this quarter serves as an educational tool. It offers insight into U.S. minting practices, design evolution, and economic history at the close of the 20th century. Teachers, students, and history enthusiasts can all learn from examining a coin that quietly witnessed a transformative period in American coinage. Today, we are diving deep into one of the most talked about modern coins among collectors and curious viewers alike, the United States of America Washington quarter dollar with the D Mint mark, issued in the year 2019. This is not just another coin story. This is a journey into meaning, symbolism, minting history, and the reason why this specific quarter has captured so much attention in the world of coin collecting. Coins are more than money. They are miniature time capsules. Each one reflects the era it was made in, the technology of the mint, and the vision of a nation. The Washington quarter has long been a symbol of American strength and leadership, and the version minted in Denver during 2019 carries its own unique identity. In this video script, we will explore why this coin matters, what makes the D Mint mark special, how condition and details influence its appeal, and why collectors continue to search for it. Stay with me, because by the end of this story, you may never look at a quarter the same way again. The Washington quarter was first introduced as a tribute to the first president of the United States, George Washington. His image represents unity, independence, and the foundation of the nation. Over the decades, the design has evolved while still maintaining the strong presence of Washington's portrait. By the time 2019 arrived, the quarter had already become one of the most recognized coins in American circulation. The obverse side of the coin features the familiar left-facing portrait of George Washington. The details in his hair, facial structure, and expression reflect years of refinement in coin engraving. The inscriptions surrounding him reinforce national pride and identity. Every line and curve has a purpose, and collectors pay close attention to how sharp and clean these details appear. One of the most important aspects of this coin is the small letter D found on it. This mint mark indicates that the coin was produced at the Denver Mint. The Denver Mint has a long-standing reputation for producing high-quality coins with strong strikes and consistent detail. For collectors, the mint mark is not just a letter. It is a signature of origin. Coins minted in Denver often stand out due to their clarity and bold features. The D mint mark on a Washington quarter from 2019 tells a story of precision, modern minting technology, and careful quality control. This is one of the reasons collectors actively seek out Denver minted quarters when building or upgrading their collections. The reverse design of the Washington quarter issued during this period adds another layer of interest. Depending on the series released that year, the reverse may represent national parks, historical sites, or important cultural themes. These designs are not randomly chosen. They are carefully selected to highlight the beauty and diversity of the United States. Collectors examine the reverse for sharpness, balance, and artistic expression. The way light reflects off the surface can reveal whether a coin has been well preserved or heavily circulated. Even small details, such as texture in the background or the definition of lettering, can dramatically influence a collector's interest. When it comes to coins, condition is everything. A Washington quarter from 2019 with a D mint mark can exist in many states, from heavily circulated to nearly perfect. Collectors often look for coins with minimal wear, clean surfaces, and strong original luster. Scratches, discoloration, and contact marks can reduce a coin's appeal. On the other hand, a well-preserved coin with crisp edges and bright surfaces can stand out as a premium example. Proper storage, such as keeping coins away from moisture and excessive handling, plays a major role in maintaining their condition over time. You might be wondering why a relatively modern quarter attracts so much attention. The answer lies in a combination of factors. Modern collectors are increasingly interested in recent issues, especially those that represent transitional periods in design or minting techniques. The 2019 D Mint Mark Washington quarter falls right into this category. It represents a moment in time when traditional coinage met modern production standards. For new collectors, it is accessible and familiar. For seasoned collectors, it offers an opportunity to find high-quality examples and potential varieties that may stand out in the future. One of the most exciting aspects of coin collecting is discovering subtle differences that are not immediately obvious. Some Washington quarters may display minor variations in strike strength, alignment, or surface texture. These small differences can make one coin more desirable than another. Collectors carefully inspect lettering, spacing, and overall symmetry. A strong strike with full detail in Washington's hair and clear definition on the reverse design can significantly elevate a coin's status within a collection. Beyond technical details and condition, there is an emotional connection that drives many collectors. Holding a Washington quarter from 2019 with a D mint mark can remind someone of a specific time in their life, a place they visited, or the excitement of finding something special in everyday change. Coins often spark curiosity and passion. They encourage people to learn about history, art, and economics. This emotional value is just as important as any monetary consideration, and it is one of the reasons coin collecting continues to thrive. For anyone building a Washington quarter set, the 2019 D Mint Mark issue is an essential piece. It represents continuity in the series and showcases the craftsmanship of the Denver Mint. Whether placed in an album, a protective holder, or a display case, this coin adds depth and completeness to a collection. Collectors often compare examples from different mints and years to appreciate subtle differences. Doing so enhances knowledge and sharpens the eye, making the hobby even more rewarding. As we reach the end of this journey, it becomes clear that the United States of America Washington quarter dollar from 2019 with the D Mint mark is far more than spare change. It is a symbol of history, artistry, and modern minting excellence. Its appeal lies in its details, its origin, and the story it tells to those willing to look closely. Whether you are a beginner just starting to explore coins or a seasoned collector searching for quality pieces, this quarter holds a special place. Remember, sometimes the most fascinating treasures are hiding in plain sight, waiting for someone curious enough to recognize their significance.